Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or whatever time you're viewing this video. So what you're looking at here is a 2012 Honda Civic LX, and these cars are very, very reliable. It's a good year, 2013, 2014. So this car came to me years ago, actually customer forward slash friends of mine. Um, I maintained it quite regularly and very dependable car. And I had recommended over the years that they get it rust proofed or undercoated, whatever you want to call it. And so basically, they passed it down to a couple of their sons, and it's on its, I think, third hand me down now. But I hadn't seen this car, I guess, around 3 years. And so it was brought to me and dropped off yesterday. Excuse me. I couldn't get to it until later in the day than I wanted to. But one of their sons ended up putting brakes on it, and he couldn't finish one side. They brought um, drums and shoes for it. There's the old drum sitting there. They wanted me to finish one side of it. And I got in the car and drove it. The brake pedal went like basically to the floor. And I didn't get this car in here until about 3:30, and I closed my shop around 4:30. So almost immediately after I got it in the shop, Dad stops by and asked me how I'm doing with it. I said, well, I'm working on replacing the shoes on the driver's side and the hardware. There's something else going on. Well, what is it? I don't know what's going on. I said, I might have to look over all the work that's been done to it. So they're passing it down to the youngest, and they want it to be a good car. Now, I had recommended that this vehicle be rust-proof time and time again, and they want it to pass safety inspection. Now, state inspections are going away in New Hampshire this January 2026. But, you know, I look under here, and that ain't good. That needs to be fixed. So that's what you see, but what you don't see is the rust on the inside. I've done a bunch of videos on this, but you get one of these vehicles, any vehicle that rusts like that, and you get in a bad accident, it's going to fold up like an old dry leaf. So I got to call them and see what they want to do, because I got a full schedule today, and we really need to figure out what we're going to do here. You see this, it hasn't been inspected in 2 years. So that says something right there. It's got good tires on it. These engines and transmissions, if you take care of them right, 300,000 miles, easy. I think this one's up on about 200,000 miles. But so I don't see people for a while. They bring their car somewhere else. They do minimal work to it, minimal maintenance. I get it, and it's like, where do you start? You know, what do you do? I mean, that body work on out of the side. The thing about body work is a lot of people don't want to. A lot of body shops don't want to mess with rust work because they can't guarantee it, and no reputable body shop will guarantee it. They basically make a lot of their money off collision work, and that structural rust on that side to be fixed right, I mean, you're going to have to chip away a lot of bad metal to get anything that might be good, and that's still not going to last. So anyway, this video is likely to be continued. I have to talk to the customer about what we're going to do moving forward on this, but I got to basically find out what their son did for the brake work and check everything he did, start from there. So, hey, you got a vehicle that you're not quite sure if you should put money into, reach out to me. We can talk about it. Hey, so the 2012 Honda Civic that was brought to me, I got kind of the story wrong a little bit, but the owner of the vehicle gave it to their son. Now, their daughter's boyfriend put brakes on it. Vehicle was brought to me. They wanted to see what it needed to make the car safe. He did the front brakes and he did the driver's side rear brake shoes, and he stopped there. Evidently, he was working on it all day, trying to get these brakes done. He did a pretty decent job in the front brakes. However, he didn't use any synthetic grease on the brakes. They were very noisy on the pads. So the customer asked me what I needed to do to make the brakes feel right. I says, I got to go through and look at everything he did unless you can get some information. So I got some information of what he did, and the problem was in the rear. And he said there may have been some moisture coming from one of the wheel cylinders. Now, I think what he was doing is he was struggling with it, and he popped the wheel cylinder out. He got the cup back in there okay and everything, but he didn't bleed it. How do I know that? Well, the bleeder had no signs of any brake fluid on it. So I bled that side, got quite a bit of air out of it. He did not adjust the brake shoes out, which that in itself will cause a soft brake pedal. So took care of that, serviced the front brakes. The brakes feel perfect on it now. However, the rust is a different story. To talk to you about rust, today, you cannot get anybody to do body work, it seems like. So why can't you get anybody to do rust work today? Well, most of the body shops today also went flat rate, and you can't really get any body shops to do rust work for a lot of reasons. First off is that they can't guarantee it, and it gets really frustrating when somebody pays a lot of money to have rust work done, and a year or so later it's bubbling out and rusting through again. So the best thing you can do is be proactive and stop the rust before it starts. So keep that in mind. But with this vehicle, supposedly they know someone that can take care of the rust for them. We're going to see what happens with that. But for now, I got the brakes working right, and should make them a decent car for a short term, unless they can stop that rust. Anyway, if you like this video, please do so and subscribe while you're at it. That would be great.